Welcome to the space of NFT PowerUp. Compete for blue chip NFTs, cash prizes, and more on NFT PowerUp's trivia platform. The space will begin shortly. While you wait, join the back channel discussion on Discord. Join us every Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time for commentary on the latest Web3 news and to win big with NFT PowerUp's trivia gaming platform.
GM, how's everybody doing today?
Yo, Ayman, GM, all's good. How about you?
And Web3 guy, Sarah, and we have Bebe Ches with us here today.
Yeah, we're doing great. Super excited to dive into today's topics. But before we do that, so just to give everyone, as always, a quick summary, this space is going to be broken down into 3 segments. The first segment, we're going to be discussing some industry topics, and then we're going to be diving into the worlds of Kite Chat and Digimonks. And after that, we're going to be announcing the trivia winners of last week. So stay tuned to know all about the guests that we have today. Hop into the discussions that we have, and don't forget to comment in the comment section below if you have anything you'd like to share with us. So kicking this episode off, Ayman, we know that you have attended multiple events this week, including Token 2049 and Arts DAO. So maybe you can just tell us how your experience was, starting with Token 2049. What was it about? What did you do? And your personal opinion of that event.
So last week was Token 2049. It's happening in Dubai. It happens in Singapore and other cities. It was happening in Dubai last week. And it was the Token week, where you have Token as the main event and you have satellite events around Token. And then you have other conferences that want to take advantage of Token being that same week, because many people are flying in specifically for Token. Many people are, spending that week, even if they're living in Dubai, to spend time within Token as well, and in Web3. So it was a very busy week for people in this space, and so you had Token that was for 2 days. You had Arts DAO, which was over the weekend as well. Saturday, Sunday, you had 2 or 3 blockchain events happening. And then you had 107 side events.
Wow.
Our rooftop parties, yacht parties, meetups, get-togethers. There was a basketball, a mini Web3 tournament. There was just whatever you fancy is there for you for that, because there are so many people who are dedicated to Web3. They flew in for this, or they're living in the UAE and they wanted to attend. It was a good week, exhausting week, but it was a good week. So if you wanted to attend many things, you could. So I attended Token. I attended Rug Radio had an event. I attended Pudgy Penguins had a series of events. I attended one of those. Arts DAO, I was there for both days. I was speaking and moderating. And there were many side events that obviously I couldn't go to all of them. And some of them were, overnight until 4 in the morning. So it depends. You can't do both day and night.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people who did, but it adds up.
Ayman, you met a person that has had, I think, 15 or 20 badges for events. So what was his schedule like? How did he attend 15 events?
So Jad, I was walking. He's a big guy. I saw a big guy with around his neck. He had a huge a number of badges, and he's just walking around. And he's a big guy walking. They're bouncing, and then and then he had a bunch of straps on his arm. So I had to nudge him, saying, "Hi, you don't know me, but are these events you attend?" He's like, "Yes, this is my proof of attendance, POA."
Wow.
We're trying to do that on chain. He's doing it physically on himself, and he's walking around to show proof that he attended those events, and he's dedicated to these types of events, this type of community, and he's into communication. But I thought it was because I'd like to keep a lot of those. So I attend many events. I speak at many events. I'd like to keep a lot of those, but at some point. So I alternate. Sometimes I keep them, so they end up piling up, and then at some point it's like, why am I keeping all of these? They're taking too much room. I throw them out. He keeps them, and he carries them from city to city when he travels, and all day. It's a lot. It's a lot of weight psychologically. And now I'm thinking about it. Even I feel it's a lot of weight.
That's the real definition of a degen.
Ayman, you mentioned there were multiple events in one event. Did that scatter away the audience and the attendees of the event, or was everyone able to attend all the areas of the events, or do you think it just scattered everyone and not everyone was able to have an experience of attending all these different things they did?
In one of the videos I was making from that week, I said that look, we gotta consolidate, we gotta better align. We talk about better aligned in Web3 and working together in Web3 or so on. We have to better align when it comes to events. 107 events. That means you're gonna have a small number of people uh, on the small number of people across most events, and you have 4 or 5 events take away the big chunk of it, and then people are all over. So one of the parties I wanted to go to, it was on my list. I didn't end up going, but that was the one on my list. And then, I was happy to go there because I would have missed out on the bigger party that was, Black Coffee had a huge performance that was very well received. I was going to go to another one, to the Board Ape one. I didn't end up going to either, but I know that if I ended up getting the energy to go to the Board Ape one, I would have missed out on the other one. So it's just too much happening at the same time.
Hey man, I have a question based on a story I saw that you posted on Instagram. You mentioned at one point that this is too much Web3 going on. I'm going out to take a break. Like, what was the whole thing? How much is too much Web3, and what takes up too much attention in Web3?
It was, I think, my second or third day of events. Hey, I think it was my second or third day of events, and they're all back-to-back Web3 events. And then I remember that day, so I was at Token, which is on one part of the city, and then I drove to other part of the city to the Museum of the Future, which is a lovely venue, to the Pudgy Penguins event, and there were many people that I met there, and there were many speakers as well. And then there was a third event I was going to, and then after that there were 2 evening functions I wanted to go to, and I was looking, I was like, I gotta step out. I gotta step out of it because it becomes just too much of us and the people, and
You get sucked into it.
You get sucked into all of it, and then of course you have your emails are still running. You're catching up on Twitter what's going on. You're active in Discord channels. You're just responding to calls and WhatsApp messages and so on. So your life day to day is still running on top of everything else that you're doing, and you have a business to run and a bunch of things. So it all added up at some point. It's like, you know what? I'm going to hit the reset button. I'm going to skip one of the events. Just, take a breather, have a bite to eat, reset, catch up on messages, and then jump back into the day. So yes, MG, if that answers your question.
I can imagine, because even us on crypto Twitter, sometimes like we feel that we just need to take a bit of a step back because of what goes on Twitter. So I can't imagine how being live in the events must have felt.
Yes.
Since we're talking about events, I want to talk a bit about ArtsDAO. So Ayman and I were helping them on the speaker management side of the event and so on. And what I like about ArtsDAO is that I didn't have a chance to be there myself, but I noticed a few things that I think every Web3 event should follow. One, it should have a fun aspect. Web3 events shouldn't be boring. People do not come in just to listen to people talking. They can watch it on YouTube. They want to have fun. So at ArtsDAO, there was a bull that you go on, hold on to the bull market, something like this. So that's one. Two, there was a claw machine with balls. Each has, I think, some cash rewards inside. So it was a very fun event, and all the panels, keynotes, debates were structured in a way to give the attendee some key takeaways. So Ayman, as Ayman mentioned, he participated in panels with Farouk, the founder of Frog Radio, about how the role of media in Web3. So whoever watched that panel got real insights or real tips, tricks from Farouk himself, because he runs a big media in Web3, big media company. So yeah, this is about ArtsDAO. I like this event. I think it's a bit like VCon, not the boring conference. So yeah, definitely looking forward to the next one, and I'll try to be there next year.
Is it true that... Sorry, MG, but
No,
is it true that there was...
I thought the story was, I'm gonna pause and you can continue. Go ahead, Sarah.
I thought ladies go first. No, it's okay. Go ahead, MG.
No, it's okay.
Okay, I was just wondering if it was true that BMW announced something there, transitioning into electrical cars, and then there was a $1 million prize in the event.
Now I know that there was a BMW vehicle, in fact, at the venue, but I don't know about the prize.
What's
I
the
think
price
with
there? I'm not
all,
sure.
yeah,
Okay, no
Did she,
worries.
did she
I
make it
think
a different event? Was that a different was that a different event?
1 million in prize. I think everyone would have heard about it. So no.
Yeah, because it says here that there was a key announcement included BMW's transition to electric vehicles, featuring a design by Jeff Koons and Yuga Labs, and then they were going to preview a new game with a potential $1 million prize. So I'm not
I
sure
don't know
about this
about it.
fact.
Yeah.
Must have been
They
something
had
else.
a booth there, and Yuga Labs had a booth there. There was a lot of giveaways, activities, treasure hunts, and so on. But it's the first time I'm hearing about this.
Nice. Guys, have any of you seen on your Meta apps, the Facebook, Instagram, the WhatsApp, this Ask Meta AI search bar that's going around? Or no one has seen it? Because Meta started rolling it out just last week, and some users have been able to use it.
I haven't had that myself, MG, but my family members of mine, they had it since December, where you
What?
can add Meta and ask on WhatsApp. You can add Meta, and they're older family members and they don't care about this stuff. I was excited
Oh,
showing it to them, like,
oh
oh,
wow.
all right,
But, but,
oh
but
nice.
how
And then
come?
they've never used it, I'm sure, since I showed it to them.
Yeah, because Meta announced Llama 3. Basically, it's their model to compete with ChatGPT and so on. And they did something that wasn't too many users. Was, let's say, in Instagram, Facebook, they replaced the search bar with the Ask Meta AI, and users were not happy about that. A lot of them went to Twitter just to complain that, give me back my search bar. I don't need to talk to AI right now in the app. I can go to ChatGPT or Gemini and ask it whatever I want.
I think there's something else behind that on Instagram. You wanna stalk somebody. You don't.
Yeah.
And you have AI standing your way. So that's usually, I think that's usually a friction point.
Yeah, yeah, especially on the stalking part, you feel like AI is just watching you do do what you were doing on Instagram. Basically, like, oh, okay, you're interested in this type of content and so on. But it would have been a problem if it actually delivered on the promise, because some users have reported testing it out just to see what it's about, and apparently it gives out wrong answers. Sometimes it makes up answers. Like, one user asked it about a flight, it just created a random flight and gave it a price. And like, for example, it makes up restaurants and so on. And one user posted a screenshot on Twitter, on X. He asked it, what's the nearest restaurant near me? And then it gave him and the nearest restaurant near his location. And then he kept wondering, like, how does it have access to my location? So he asked it, do you have access to my location? And she said no. Then he asked it, then how then how can you give me a recommendation? And they said, oh, it's just a coincidence that it happens to be in your place. So this is just an additional sketchy part on behalf of this tool that is not falling well with users.
MG, they've had our data since 2007,
Yeah.
8, 9, whenever Facebook and Twitter at the time were there. So they've always had the data. They use that in the recommendations and in recommended the content that you see or so on. Now with the AI, we are able to unearth some of it, and then we'll have some bizarre behavior.
Yeah.
I'll see
Yeah.
if Kai and maybe Chaz, have you guys been using any other LLM other than ChatGPT? If you're using Meta or Grok on X or something else, or not so much, or ChatGPT is our it's my main one, at least for me.
Yes, I only use ChatGPT right now, more as like a virtual assistant, like a very affordable virtual assistant. Really helps me to organize shows and do different things very quickly. So definitely any business owner that's not using AI is really going to fall behind. And I think a lot of the big companies already have systems in place to not just reduce the workforce, but also make a lot of money in the process and become a lot more efficient.
Can you tell me more about use cases you've been using?
For example, I have this book I'm working on, and I just had ChatGPT. I have to go back and forth a few times to kind of streamline for a book outline, like to give me ideas of how to structure a chapter, because there's a specific way, at least that I go about writing a book. So it saves me some time with as I have some ideas to be able to then organize it. If I have a presentation maybe I'm giving, sometimes I'll ask it to help me with an outline just so that I can have an idea of like as I'm building it, ways in which I should like order it in terms of introductions, like one, two, three, four, etc. So I think as I use it a lot, like for a lot of the stuff that I do, because I do a lot of writing and content creation. So it helps me to kind of like prep up that way and set it up. Sometimes I'll also use it for, maybe like it's not. I haven't found it to be as useful for this, but maybe like to come up with some creative name for something or better ideas or different ideas for titles that I may be coming up with. So, simple stuff like that, or what artwork maybe would go well with something that I'm creating, things of that nature. I also use, haven't used it in a while, but I do use like art generation AI software sometimes just for like a little post to have some sort of like art to support it. But normally I use my team, my art team for that.
You mentioned you're writing a book. What's that book about?
Yeah, so I have a book already out. It's called The Art of Stress-Free Living: Reprogram Your Life from the Inside Out. That one you can get in bookstores, etc. It's also available in the mastermind that I have for holders or for Web2 native people. They can also sign up. Um, but I also have another book on kind of like life mastery, and it's called Voyage from Human to God. That one, it was the first book I ever wrote, and that one has the forward from a yoga legend called Sridharma Mitra. That is one of my numerous teachers that I've learned across my life. And in addition to that, I'm conceptualizing a couple of other books. One is on an adaptogenic approach, so an approach of kind of creating buffers so that you maintain a state of harmony, and in that state of harmony, you're more resistant to stress, disease, etc. And so, and that one will likely have like nutrition as well, and likely some elements of a cookbook. And I also have another one on the rise of technology and the increase of attention deficit and autism spectrum. So it's one of the things that motivated me to do what I do nowadays, which is that as technology increased, I saw a deterioration in our youth, a disabling effect, because as good as technology is for us, as we engage it and use it, it creates certain addictive behaviors and other and certain neurochemical changes that really rewire our brain in ways that are not normal or healthy. And so I kind of teach how to protect yourself. So you guys use the word degen. So we use that a lot in Digimonks to kind of illustrate that we need to degen responsibly, and so learn ways in which we can create certain buffers and some more balance and balance our interactions with technology. So like just in the same way that you may do a detox where you may do a juice cleanse, let's say, for a few days to kind of like let your digestive system rest, your nervous system needs that same rest and needs digital detox. So we need to set that in every day, especially in the evenings, I would say. And at least once a week, especially on the weekends, to set aside time for the family.
I'm going through your Amazon listing, and I can see that it's well received and well reviewed. Good job with that. So this is not self-published. You used a publishing house for this. Tell me more about that process, because I've been recently reading a book about personal branding, and in it, one of the angles was about a book and the importance of having a book, and self-publishing could be a path versus, publishing with a publisher and so on. It looks like
Yeah.
you've gone through a publisher 4 years ago. How is that experience overall for you in terms
I
of
mean,
yeah.
there are two ways I would say. If you have a large following and maybe a successful business, let's say, and you have the money, you could get a book that's very successful. People don't realize that like New York Times bestsellers are books that where you leverage a lot of marketing and a lot of following to get that book to sell a certain amount of books. So my book was like a bestseller when it came out, only because it sold a lot of copies within a certain short amount of time, and it made it a bestseller. But to rank that high, you have to like leverage a lot of money. So publishing traditionally nowadays, um, a lot of times the publishers are looking for that kind of following and making sure that the book is going to consistently sell so that they can make money. So for me, I nowadays, with the way that the world is and how dynamic we have now with blockchain, with NFTs, with open source ledgers, where everything is there, I decided I would recommend more the self-publishing route. So my second book, I will be working with a publisher, but it's much more low cost. They're just gonna get it ready for me, edited, get it in different formats, like hard copy, the what do you call that? The other version that's not hard copy, um, and and also audiobook is another thing, because then what I do is I offer them in my mastermind so people can have access to the audiobook, the actual book. Um, but writing a book can be very tedious and time consuming. So what I would suggest is anybody that's wanting to write a book, you really want to make sure that you do have the time and you set the time consistently every day. Otherwise, it just stagnates and takes a long time. And so I have some resources I use for that purpose that I kind of developed as I wrote. But self-publishing is probably not a bad route because it's more cost effective. And if you're already actively out there, you can then use it and promote it and say, I'm an author, I have this book, and you can use it also for marketing purposes, offering it for free, let's say. So like mastermind holders that get that book for free, the audiobook. And so, that's probably a better route, I would say now.
Okay, clear. Kai Chat, do you want to tell us more about you and your project?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I'm pretty gonna like to listen to your sharing. I think that's pretty cool. No matter it's about the token like 2049 in the last week, because we've also attended that event, and we've got our own exhibition like place. So we've also like attended lots of side events. I mean that's pretty cool because actually I met lots of experienced and professional teams, and it's a really good way like to learn like from each other. I mean, there are so many like narratives like in this market at the moment. I think keep on learning is also like a really good way like to push forward. So that's and about AI and about arts, so many things like are happening. Yeah, we're just we're just trying to push on because we're a social vibe project, and I think we're building
vibe project. What's the social vibe project?
No, it's social fi, I think.
Yeah, social fine. Yeah.
Oh,
social
okay,
finance.
Okay, that makes more sense. It's like social vibe is like cool. What is that?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's a social vibe project. This is about Kai chats, and actually, like currently, we've got like a very complete ecosystem. Basically, like you can chat, you can earn, you can learn, and you can connect with some Web3 like platforms, like DeFi platforms, or some dApps like on KaiChat. It's just all in one like platform. Like basically, we have our own wallet. That is MPC wallet. It's a higher level. I mean, like security, like wallet. It is multi-party like computation wallet. Anyway, so it's just make it very secure, and we support like multiple chains, basically like EVMs, like Ethereum, like Tron, like BSC or Polygon, or like FTM, Arbitrum. I mean, like lots of chains. This wallet, I mean, I supported this kind of chains, so it just gives like convenience and easier access like for some users. And then we have also integrated like some dApp browser. dApp browser means like you can access to any like dApps, like some DeFi platforms, and then you can connect our MPC wallet like to these dApps, and where you can sell your NFTs, you can trade your NFTs, where you can do something, or like to gain airdrops, or like to go staking and more. That's basically what we're doing. And Furthermore, additionally, we've also got our like credit system. Like when you interact like on our app, like chat or like use our M-Pesa wallets or like to go to some dApps or something like that, you're gonna earn like KC, our credits, and which you can exchange into our native token KI in the future. Yeah. So basically, that's an overview about Kai.
Is the main product the chat?
Yeah, that's part of it. That's part of it because we've got our wallets and currently like
Yes. I understand you have the wallet, but just is the main part where you're bringing people together towards the chat, and the chat is the main thing, and then
yeah,
if we need to exchange money, we have the wallet. If we need to buy something or trade something, we have the wallet, and so on. So
that's true. That's true.
So the chat is the main part, and it's end to end.
Yeah.
Because I'm going through the website now, and this is the vibe I got from it.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Actually, chat is just one of the main parts because you can chat on like X, you can chat on Telegram, you can chat on Discord, right? Yeah. So our main features currently are located, I suppose, in its depths. I mean, is I think this is which part like where you can gain true values, and we're trying to set up like a communities. For example, currently we've got some Bitcoin layer 2 like ruins protocol or some others, some trending topics, and we can set some special or like specific communities like for this kind of topics where users can talk through these topics like in this community. And yeah, this is one of our features. I think this is more like valuable. So instead of like you just chat on our platform, I don't really think that's really attractive, So I think we want to keep up to the trend, to always like keep up on the to catch up the market. I mean, to draw something like for example, if you think it's pretty hard like to do some air jobs or like to get into the trending topics, right? But here, and we help gather this kind of information and integrate them into our platform, where you can access it, where you can talk about it with others, and where you can do something. So that's our what we intend to do.
Okay, that's clear. And what are important dates or the website you want to send them? You want to send them to?
Like currently, we have partnered with lots of projects. Like you may see on our Twitter page, and we're still like doing this kind of PR like sort of things. And we've also currently we've got around like 50K like registrations like on our app, and around like 350 like daily use like average users. I mean, that's basically what we're doing. And I think it's not very completely yet, but we will gradually like doing like something like to improve our user experience. And currently we've got this kind of features that you can access to this DeFi platforms. You can access to like OpenSea, like Blur, or some or Magic add-on or something like that, and you can trade like through our the wallet, sort of something. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Sure.
yeah.
All right. So and it's kai.com, kai.com, correct?
Mm-hmm. We haven't like integrated like AI sort of features like yet. But yeah, but I think probably like if in the future like we have to like analyze some information or like to provide them more values to our users, that would be an option.
Okay, clear. Thank you for sharing about your project.
No problem. All right. Yeah.
Brian, back to you. I want to know more about your project.
Yeah, sorry. I'm on the move. That's why I don't have my camera on.
No, it's just
Yeah. So Digimonks is a wellness, mindfulness Web3 venture. And so the idea is that there are a lot of things, as I mentioned earlier, that are going to increase, that are going to become problems as we become more entrenched being in front of devices. And if you've ever seen somebody use the Apple Vision Pro, you'll get a sense of why this is going to become a problem. Our brain is going to become a lot more diluted and more prone to attention deficit. And the less focused we are, that diminishes our power and our ability to be productive and even healthy. And so I launched Digimonks with that intention to really have an NFT that gave a very different utility than the traditional, maybe gaming or financial or what have you. Other, there's a lot of projects out there that have overlapping utility. And so what we wanted to do was to create this with art and to make the education not be stagnant like a printed book, but more dynamic and active, where people could share and ask questions directly to me or to another expert. And a lot of the problem in the NFT space has been that a lot of the people that say they want to do wellness have no expertise in it. And therefore, they may be very good at tech, but then they end up stalling because they just can't get the experts to be there available for their community, for their holders. And that's why it's important to have that expertise. And so we've been working with a number of different partners to do this. We're more focused right now in Web2 to actually grow more authentic following that are really craving and wanting the product, as opposed to holders that may buy for financial reasons, for financial gains. So, Digimonks is that kind of ethos of the digital Zen master, in a sense, that is within us all. We're going to be immersed in the digital age, and we're going to be exposed to a lot of different technologies. And to know how to navigate that smoothly, we created the Digital Guru and the Digital Ashram, which is like a space that you can visit virtually. Um, and we also created the first healing NFT that exists on the Ethereum blockchain. And we want to transcend the profile pic type of NFTs that are more like memberships. We want them to have more like a utility. So we want to have collections of healing NFTs. We are about to release our first pilot Zen Stories comic book series that will be like Digimon's theme, like of the Digimon's lore. So that's going to be coming out very soon. The artist is already working on it. And so all of these will be NFTs. And so the idea is to eventually expand this to other languages, to have this be integrated into like an app with, tokenize and ways to leverage blockchain and smart contracts in a way that makes it easier for gating members as well as to reward them. So we have a lot of stuff in store, as well as lastly, I originally did this because I've been an educator for over 25 years. So I've seen the deterioration of the youth firsthand. And this is not just an opinion, it's based on numbers. It only grew worse in 2020 with the lockdowns and kids being virtual for a year. It just made everything much more magnified. One of the things that I've wanted to do is to release Digimonks Kids. And so it's basically taking everything that I teach and having it suitable for the younger generation. Again, with the intention of teaching them the things that the school system doesn't teach them, so that they can really become more empowered and do something which I'm known for, that I say a lot of times, which is mental health equals mental power. So we want to rebrand mental health so that people understand that it's just as important as going to the gym or exercising physically. And also, oh, I forgot I was going to say something else, but my mind blanked. But we want to go that angle and really start to transform people from within, because I believe that everybody's a genius, and the issue is that the systems that we grow from are not allowing that to flourish, to really come out. And so if we can actually develop a system that integrates with family and the school system, so that the younger generation can really learn and be exposed to things that allow them to thrive rather than survive and fit this, just be one of the many cogs in the industrial machine, we're really past the industrial age, and we really need something different. We're moving into an era where people are going to value their well-being and value sustainability and truth, and they really are craving to go beyond believing. And so the digital guru is kind of like the ethos of that. So think of like a Sadhguru, but for the digital degen. And so that's the profile pic that you see there. You know, there's a 3D kind of metaverse ready version of that guru. And so,
What's
you
a
know, we want to make it fun and for kids, you know, as well.
what's a healing NFT?
So a healing NFT is imagine if I create some sort of experience, and that experience has the capacity to heal you in some way. So the first one that we did, it's very basic. It may not look like it does much, but when you listen to it and you go through the guided practice, it has a very powerful effect. So one of our holders, who's still a holder, he's a holder from day one. He had a very traumatic accident in a car, a near-death experience. He was in a coma for like 6 months and had numerous surgeries to fix a lot of his face, that he lost most of his face. So he doesn't really look like he used to, a really beautiful kid, and he had to have his face reconstructed. And he has a lot of pain, chronic pain, especially in his back, because they removed the muscle and a nerve to reinnervate the face to try to correct some like paralysis that he has. And so he did this healing NFT, and I was talking to him about something else. And then he says, "Hey, I tried your healing NFT, and I'm pain free for the first time in years." And we hosted a spaces to kind of discuss this. And you know, if you're interested, you wanted to check it out. It was more of a proof of concept. And then what we do have coming is, so I met this artist. We did the world's first Web3 retreat, wellness retreat in Sri Lanka. Amazing experience. And I met this artist, and when I was looking at her art, seemed like I was meant to be there. There were a few people that were there that were meant to meet, and she was one of them. And then when I looked at her art, I realized that her art wasn't just regular art. It seemed like she was tapping into some higher tech, like if it were she was sketching some like engineering piece of sorts. And so I told her that I really, when I look at her art, that I saw that as being animated digitally, and that we needed to get this into our ashram or to some sort of virtual space that people could go and then access and then lie there and sit there and experience the healing power of the art that she creates. And when I told her that, she paused and looked at me and said, "You know that I've been thinking about that for a long time, and I just had never, you know, I'm not an expert in, you know, the tech side. I just do canvas art." And so she was really blown away. It was like a really unique experience that, you know, take more than this space to kind of describe the entire experience that I had with her in a one-to-one session. But so that's something that we have in the pipeline. One that she has is designed for healing the reproductive system. There's other ones for, like, you know, mental health issues. And so we're working to kind of couple this and test it as well, both in a control setting as well as maybe with more natural medicine and even psychedelics, which are going to go mainstream as well in the coming future in psychiatry. So it's, you know, it's really cool. There's a lot of cool stuff, and we want to kind of bridge the gap between science and technology and medicine and health and, you know, and even art, you know, to make it fun and cool. We also have ideas for video games as well, for integrating wellness, mindfulness practices very elegantly into games to teach kids pacing and to teach them how to not to grind and burn out, which develops really poor habits in the child and develops by the time they reach late lower school and middle school, they already will have clear signs of attention deficit and other problems, restlessness, anxiety, and even depression. This has been just increasing. And so we want to make sure that we have them do the things that they enjoy as children, but to do them in a way that's very different and much more wholesome and healthy for them.
Thank you for sharing details of your project. What are important dates, as we're wrapping up this segment, what are important dates or an upcoming event or something that you want to send people to?
For me, Let's see. I don't know. We have any important dates? We have. It's something that Digimonks is something that is just a continual thing that continues to provide more content. We have our mastermind that's called Ready Made Genius. So that's a lifetime access for any holder, and some of the NFTs are probably very affordable right now with, people taking money out of the NFT space to go into crypto and other investments and tokens. So we always have stuff going on, more content coming out, like how to learn to turn stress into flow, our quantum model to mental health, and a whole bunch of other stuff to sleep better. I teach really unique stuff that doesn't exist anywhere outside of that mastermind. And in addition, we also launched recently a venture capital fund. So we have partners that are experts that do all the vetting of the projects. So, and we've made a number of projects available recently. And so we'll have more to come, and only holders can participate in this type of investment deals. You don't need to be KYC'd or anything. Our investment partners do all the KYCing, and then we do the distribution of the tokens. So, we have a lot of stuff going on as we move forward. We are going to be, I'm going to have my meeting to discuss if we're going to revamp and do the Web3 Wellness Retreat. Of course, holders get a discount to attend that retreat. It may be in Sri Lanka again, we'll see, or I may do one in America. We'll see how it goes, but we have a lot of stuff going on, so we don't necessarily have a specific, date coming.
Okay, that's clear. Thank you for sharing with us. Web3 guy, ready for the winners?
Yep, let's do it.
Get ready, everyone. We're about to announce this week's trivia winners. Ready? Here we go. In third place, the winner is
Mr. Amen Knife.
in second place. Big cheers for
KZ.
And now, the moment of supreme glory. This week's trivia master, the champion of champions, is
Projector.
Thanks to all who played. Be sure to join NFT PowerUp for another thrilling round of trivia. Who knows, you could be our next big winner. Turn on your notification.
Congratulations to the winners. We will be announcing them shortly on our X profile in case you weren't in the space to hear if you won or not. I want to thank Baby Chase and Kai Chat for joining us today. Thank you guys for taking the time to discuss with us the topics and share more about your projects. We wish you the best of luck. I know Kai Chat is not here with us anymore. He's in a meeting. Baby Chase, thank you for joining. Web3 Guy, Ayman, MG. See you guys soon. Thank you for joining. It was a fun space. Until then, keep powering up.
Thank you. Take care.
Join us again next Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We hope you have enjoyed listening and gained valuable insight into the world of AI and